in very challenging times. And I'm not sure I've seen a time, in at least my 41 plus years of service in the Army, that are so potentially dangerous. Just take a look at Russia, who the National Defense Strategy is now calling an acute threat. The Ukrainians call them something else. Just saying. Anyways, who conducted an unprovoked attack on Ukraine. What many in Europe considered unimaginable not too long ago. Look at what is happening in Asia. Our pacing challenge from the National Defense Strategy, China, with an economy nearly equal in size to ours, is building a world-class military to challenge us in the world order. And while we focus on China and Russia, we can't take our eyes off our other persistent threats, North Korea, Iran, and violent extremists. And on top of all that, we're still dealing with the challenges of COVID, and we will deal with more unprecedented natural disasters throughout this country. And despite all these challenges and all these threats, we're going to continue to transform our Army so they're ready for the next 40 years as we move from counterinsurgency, counterterrorism, irregular warfare to large-scale combat operations. And I think it's a good thing that we've started transforming, that we did start transforming when we did, because when the crisis hit our allies, when Russia, unprovoked, attacked Ukraine, we were ready. And we were ready because, first, we had a strong, permanent presence in Europe. We had the theater set logistically in Europe. We had just made U.S. Army Africa and in Europe a 4-star command, which allowed us to have the right command and control in place. Second, as many of you already know, we've had many years invested with the National Guard State Partnership with many European countries, and especially with Ukraine, as I talked about California and the other great state guards who have helped them train and reach the level of proficiency that they're demonstrating on the battlefield every single day. And third, we're able to rapidly deploy highly trained and ready units into theater very, very quickly, and there they remain to reassure our allies and partners and to deter any further threats. And so we talk a lot about the future fight, and what we're doing with Ukraine is checking on where we're going. We are learning a lot of lessons from Ukraine. And for some of the older gentlemen that are sitting here in the front row, we did the same thing during 1973 when we took a look at the Arab-Israeli war. And out of that Arab-Israeli war, the leaders at the time were able to transform the Army. That's where Iran doctrine came from. That's where the Big Five came from. That's where many of the weapon systems, the concepts, and the training centers that we all enjoy and take for granted today, that's where they came from. And so we're moving forward with these lessons to develop our multi-domain operations doctrine. And that will be coming out very, very soon in FM 3.0. And from Ukraine, we're learning a lot about a command post. And what we're learning is that in order for them to survive, they have to be small and mobile. Command posts that are large and stationary, like what many of us got used to in Afghanistan or in Iraq, will not survive on the modern battlefield. So we must change there. We need to be able to operate isolated and dispersed. And we need to expect to be contested across all domains, the land, air, sea, cyber, and space. And long-range precision fires, how many artillery do we have out there? All right, we're going to make fires great again.